welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my birthday month, where this month I'm just kind of doing maybe a little bit more of a hodgepodge type of videos just because I'm so excited for the holiday season. You guys may have seen some recent videos from me. I wanted to do 2 last week, and that's why the one video was a little bit shorter, where I was doing the ways you can save money this holiday season with home decor. I was so excited to kind of show you guys what I can finally bring in to decorate in the holidays. But a hurricane came through, and her name was Hurricane Nichole, and I don't even mean this Nichole. It was a real hurricane, ended up popping up, and you gotta treat them with respect. If that's anything I've learned as a Floridian, you have to treat all hurricanes with respect, no matter their category. And she was a blustery one. It was a little difficult, and I had people reaching out to me being like, Nichole, what is your problem? Because Nichole, we get it. But if you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, you can follow me right here. Just a reminder, Nichole, not spelled with an H, is not me. It's a different vibe. It's a different personality. And if you follow my Instagram, you already know. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you're going to want to follow me on Instagram so you can be in the know on all my sassiness behind the scenes. Because I got a little sassy that day when I was explaining to you this Nichole is not the same as the other Nichole. But welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a way more rapid review, firing off all of my thoughts on some products much faster than I'm getting through this intro because I felt chatty with you guys. So grab your tea, grab your snack, grab your water, get comfy, because today I'm going to be doing some rapid reviews on products that I have had, that I've been trying for a while now. Cheers! So I really wanted to sit down with some makeup and talk to you about things that I've gotten from Boxycharm. Things that I have purchased myself, I do believe, or has been sent to me in PR. Things that I have rediscovered that have saved my skin or saved my makeup game this past month. Also, I'm breaking out. I am breaking out, and I think a combination of it is some stress, like I mentioned, hurricanes, work stresses, life stresses, all of the things. So I've got some breakouts, but I'm also thinking some culprits could be in here too. So let's start with this rapid review. Let's see if I can even live up to that title of a rapid review, because you guys know I'm so chatty because I love giving you the dirty details on products. But now I'm going to see if I can spit fire through a bunch of them and give you the information you need without over-explaining. That's hard for me, as we know. Starting with a hair product, just so I can get it out of my beauty space. I have tried this several times. I've had it for far too long. I think I got it in a Boxy Luxe, Boxy Premium, I don't know. This just doesn't work for my hair type. I need to give this to somebody who would love it, because I know there are people out there that are going to be like, what blasphemy are you speaking, Nichole? That stuff's amazing. It does not work for my hair type. I keep going back to it after months of not trying it. Back and forth, back and forth. This product is called Hot Toddy Before Ironing Heat Protectant Mist. So you're supposed to use this, obviously, to protect your hair before you do things. Well, I don't really curl my hair. This curliness is natural. I don't really straighten my hair because that's what I use for a blow dryer. So I try using this before maybe I blow dry when I'm about to use another product that I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. And this makes my hair stiffer. It makes my hair have some build up in it that does not complement, and then I lose all of my natural curl. And as you can see, I've got a lot of natural curl. It just makes my hair get bigger and wider. And yes, I live in humid Florida, and it is now, into a cooler season, but I've tried this in summer, I've tried this in fall, I've tried this in winter. I think now is the time. I just need to really get rid of this because this doesn't work for my hair type. But if you have a different hair type, this could be something that is great for maybe your hairstyling, or maybe you need this for actual curling irons or straighteners, things like that. I don't really do it that often, and it's taking up space, so I need to pass this on to a friend who would love it. Apparently this is a declutter tube. Didn't really realize that till just now, so let's keep going. Hey, something ruined my makeup today. It's right on top. I meant to go to another hair tool, but it's right on top of this bin, and I had it before in the old packaging. Maybe they've changed the formula. I think this could be good if you have drier skin, and if you are not someone like me who is a pattern creature. I'm a creature of habit, and I love powders. They work better for my oily, sensitive skin that has a lot of breakouts right now. I received recently, because I have had this before, the Wander Beauty On the Glow Blush and Illuminator. I had this in the black packaging eons ago, back in the tiny house, maybe like my first year in the tiny house. And I was like, oh, I know I'm gonna hate this. And I was actually surprised by it. But it's probably because I went out of my way to use it before powders, use it in different types of ways. If this isn't gonna fit into my life or into my makeup game in my busy season of life, I do not need to store it or hang on to it. There's a blush end to this and an illuminator side. Today, I tried using this again with my fingertips where I like put it on my finger and then put it onto my face. And the blush kind of comes off a little bit more pow than you think it will at first, but it's a cream. So what you can do is work it down, make it a little bit more approachable for your skin. It does have some tact to it, so I was concerned for my skin. I liked that it had a little bit of shimmer to it, and maybe if this was summer, I don't know, I don't want to do the what if game because then I'm going to end up keeping it, and I think I've just decided in this random moment I'm going to get rid of it because my makeup today is not my favorite, and this is definitely a reason for it. The highlighter is fine. It's not like anything revolutionary. I have highlighters similar to this in like a putty form as well. I just think my skin is not a fan of these type of products, and it has to be super special or a super unique formula for it to work for even just the way I like to do makeup, because I had already put on powder this morning to powder down my face because of the product I used for foundation. That is also in this video. And my skin just kind of looks a little greasy in certain spots, even though I didn't put highlighter there. My nose completely fell apart this morning, and I had to dig out my Dior powder to save my nose. This is the Dior Backstage Body and Face Powder No Powder. This saved my nose today. I actually had to see people in person this morning, which is rare because I work from home, but it was one of those things where I was like, they're gonna just see how broken apart my nose is, and they're gonna be like, she likes makeup, she does YouTube videos. No, I don't want to talk about it. This is what saved my face this morning. So this is still a champ. This just made my skin look kind of oily, definitely broke apart my nose. I'm not sure the makeup is even gonna last on my nose all day because of this, so I'm just gonna get rid of this. Again, didn't mean for this to be a declutter video, but I need to make these decisions, and it's a lot easier to declutter when I'm less committed to something and I need to get it out. I do have a couple of foundations in here. One is amazing, one I'm gonna declutter right here on camera, but she served a purpose. So let's start with that. My Halloween special, you all saw, I had a very washed out face when Sandra took over my soul and my body. And I was using the AOA Pro Wear Foundation. This is a very light tone. This is in the shade Buff. Buff is usually a little bit warmer toned, but this one is super, super pale. So I ended up using this to kind of wash out my skin, and it ended up being pretty thick. I used this a couple different times, and it is kind of thick, but it definitely is not even my right color, even in the fall, the winter. So color matching was already a thing, but this worked well for what I needed it for, but it's not something I would want to wear for everyday makeup. It was more like costumey makeup. So I'm going to get rid of this, but I have had other foundations from the AOA line, which is the Shop Miss A line, that I love. Love, love, love. This one just not even the right color, so I'm just going to get rid of it. The reason I powdered down so quickly this morning is because I am still loving the Patrick Ta foundation. Now, my one complaint about this is when I build it up to be more than just a natural look, because if I just use it very lightly with either a brush or a damp sponge and just kind of put it lightly and blend it into my skin, it looks like my skin but better, right? It looks like I have a filter on, it looks natural, but it's too pale of a tone for me to really build it up with a beauty sponge that maybe I go into it a bit more, I can really get in there and then put it all over my face and then layer it. It's a little too pale tone. So that's why today and previous days that I've just wanted something fast and easy and I knew I could trust this, it doesn't match my skin so well. So I need something a little bit darker. But as you can see, I've not had this terribly long in my collection, and you see pan on the center already, right? I've used this pretty consistently since receiving it, and I really love it. I just need a darker color. And I think you need for my skin type, I need a really good powder to go after it to really set it down. I do like the powder in here, but I still go in with something like Dior Backstage powder because I feel like this also looks very, very natural on the skin. So as this combination works, including the powder in here, it's such a home run for me. This is an easy run out the door, running errands type face, or I could build it up to be more of a full beat. Love. I'm not sure I love this as much as I thought I was going to. And maybe it's because the season for me with this is gonna be like in the middle of summer, like June, July here. But Ciate London, I've loved a lot of their blushes. I've even loved some of their eyeshadows. So I was really excited when I got this bamboo bronzer in the shade South Beach, and not everybody loves a shimmer bronzer, but I think I have proven that is not a problem for me in this beauty space because Too Faced, how you doing? This is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Soleil bronzer. As you can see, I have all this pan on it and I have a backup. So good. This muffin I think is good, but I don't think she has as much of a spread. I think she's a little too warm toned for me. The tonality is a little bit more orange based because I used this today just to kind of remind myself how I felt about it on top of some of my other favorite products like that foundation. And I'm not as in love with the final look. I definitely feel like I have a little bit more of an orange base on my face than I do with other things that I have loved in the past that have a similar consistency. I think I even thought that even when it was warmer out. So this is something that I'm a little disappointed in, and I don't find it blends as smoothly on my skin either. Because sometimes with something like the Too Faced, I can blend it down and to really like match my skin well, make everything look blurred and beautiful. This does not have that same pearlescence formula that it still looks like healthy glowy skin. It kind of gets a little bit more patchy, which is disappointing to find out, but I'm still going to use it for a while and not going to declutter this just yet. I'm going to keep trying her. Even though this is a rapid review, I need to speak slower. I already talk so fast. Also, I just repurchased this after not having it in my beauty space for a super long time. So this is an old favorite of the channel that I haven't had in a while, but I feel like it's worth honorable mention in here for a fast part of the review. The CoverGirl Advanced Radiance Powder is a dream if you're needing something for under the eyes, if you have oily skin like me, to prevent creasing. I also love this down the nose. You can even do it all over the face. Haven't had this in my collection for a while because I was in love with the AOA Shop Miss A powder, but I can't get it because girl is still on a continuous out of stock cycle. So I needed to go back to an old trusty, and I still love her. Thought she was worth an honorable mention here. And she's drugstore. Love that. Beauty Bio Bright Eyes Under Eye Gels. These are gels. I actually have been using these in the mornings quite regularly, mostly to just give myself that morning pampering. I'm not gonna say I see a ton of difference with the brightening. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see that there at all. But I use these or something like them. I mean, once these are gone, I can't say I'm gonna repurchase them by any means, but I could see myself keeping some of the eye patches on hand for a morning routine because it's like a physical and visual reminder. This is your time in the morning for you. I have a really hard time of starting to, once I get up and I'm somewhat functional, take the dog's potty, feed them, I immediately start being like, what else do I have to do? Instead of allowing myself that morning, I don't know, like generator, like get yourself up and going. Let's get yourself, excited for the day. I'm really bad at that. So when I pop these on in the mornings, a lot of time, that's when I'll do like a morning meditation for myself or plan out what makeup I want to do and not use it as a time of like, oh, now I have to wear these and do the dishes, go do these things. It allows me that moment of morning self-care. So that's a real reason that I've really stuck with these. I haven't really noticed a brightening effect under the eyes, honestly. It got to a point specifically with the under eyes that I pulled out an old trusty product though, because I have been noticing in this season of life where things are a little bit more chaotic, a little stressful. Sometimes the holidays are so fun to like decorate and plan for, but it's also a really busy time for so many people with work, family dynamics, day-to-day household things. It gets a little crazy. And I was definitely seeing a difference in my skin. And these, unfortunately, while they were giving me that spa moment at home, which always take care of you, I liked the cooling effect with these. They were very cooling, so it probably helped with some puffing, but not the brightening. I pulled out my old faithful product that I discovered over a year ago. It has to have been over a year ago now. And it really brightens my under eyes to the point that I now have this in my nightly routine because I need it. How many of you guys remember Mudmasky from Boxycharm, right? This was something I got in a box and I really didn't think much was gonna happen. This is the Mudmasky Vitamin-Infused Eye Serum. It has so many claims about moisture boosts, vitamin boosts, feeding and nourishing. The main thing I see, it's really tiny font under all of this, but it says it reduces the dark circles under the eyes. And when I tell you that is absolutely fact, I still get stunned. And I was like, I wonder if this is still gonna work as well as I thought it did at the tiny house. Girl, I just literally at night, this is all I do. Wash my face. Sometimes a double cleanse if I have a full beat going. On my bare skin, I just put this under the eyes. And it is super easy to the point you don't see it on your skin, but the next day, everything is brightened. I've taken it a lot of times under the eye, on the eyelid, even on the nose, maybe whatever's left, just kind of like put it around. I mean, I probably could put it all over my face, but in this targeted area, when I tell you it brightens my under eyes, I so mean it. I've even, gotten away from it for months now, trying so many other skincare things. And honestly, this is the thing that doesn't break out the sensitive girl's skin. It brightens so dramatically. And when I use it consistently, it just looks even brighter. It looks even smoother. Everything looks good. So if I don't want to wear makeup, I don't see like the dark circles or the disconnect of the coloration between this part of my skin and the rest. I highly recommend this. I still do. I was so glad I still had these because I love them. I think I have 2 of these, but I gave one away to a family member and now I'm already like, maybe I need to stockpile another one. No, we don't need to. But if I see it on a sale, I might. This is really good. And it works. I need something that does what it claims it's gonna do. If there's anything we've learned with skincare, that is not always the case. Elemis had sent me some things, and actually I need to go get one of the other things that I'm almost out of because I have been loving it. But this was something that I think was definitely breaking me out. So I've now transitioned this to wintertime elbows and feet cream. And it seems to be working good for that. This is the Elemis Superfood Midnight Facial. So this is something that is a heavy jar, super pretty, and let me tell you, this product is super thick. This is a very thick cream that smells like a superfood. It smells like berries. Like when you open this up, you're like, oh, the color makes sense because berries immediately come to the brain and that's what you smell. And on my face though, it felt super duper thick and I was really concerned, but I was like, well, it says Midnight Facial Nourishing Sleeping Cream. I was like, this has gotta be good. This is what it's intended for. And I do love Elemis. I was really surprised when I was trying to use it. I was like, oh, there's a big breakout. There's a cyst breakout. Ooh, my skin is so sensitive. So what I've done is transition this from being in my bathroom to being on my nightstand, and that's where I do my nighttime, lotions on the hands. It's getting to be that season of time, isn't it? And then feet, all the things, specifically on my feet, because I don't know about y'all, but even if my face is pretty oily and sensitive, my body from like chest and below can get really dry, especially legs and feet. So this has been my foot cream and it works pretty great. And a lot of you have told me in the past, if a cream doesn't work for you, make it your hands and feet because you'll be shocked at how well it works. And you're so right. Let me go get the other product that I'm almost done with, so she definitely deserves to be part of this review. A little bit more Elemis here. I didn't know I would still really like the facial pads. These are dynamic resurfacing facial pads. This works great as a double cleanse, but also it works really well in the mornings. So a lot of times, like I said, I will put on this in the evenings. Sometimes I still love my avocado retinol masks, things like that in the evenings if I'm really just needing to really spruce up my skin, maybe a couple times a week. In the mornings though, I do find that I like using one of these pads, and as you can see, I'm down to the very bottom and there's a ton in here. They give you a generous amount. They're skin smoothing pads. And I've really liked them. I feel like they do also kind of just help get any extra dirt and grime off of your skin, even in the mornings after sleeping. Yes, we wash our pillowcases and things like that, but your skin is still oily. So it's kind of nice just to kind of like start your morning fresh. And these have been something I have absolutely loved. Also, I've already gone through I'm on my second one of these in the past quarter maybe, and Adam's already asking if we have another one, and I'm like, no, we're gonna have to buy more actually, because this is the Ciate Sommerville Goat's Milk Face Cleanser. I got it from a Boxycharm, and then we used it all up. And maybe I had a second one from Boxycharm and we used it all up. Then it was out of our beauty space for a while. Our beauty space. Poor Adam. Can you just feel bad for my husband for a second? Everything's my beauty space, according to me. In this house, everything's a beauty space. In our bathroom, this is where we keep this because he loves it, I love it. We have very similar skin types. So it works very well for both of us, and it doesn't break him out, it doesn't dry out his skin, all the stuff. Well, now we're on our last one, and he's already asking for another one. And since it's a moisturizing cleanser, it's something that's also good to have in this cooler season as maybe the rest of our skin starts to dry out. So I could see us maybe buying another one. We got these at Tuesday Morning on like a really great deal because this is a pricier brand. Kate Sommerville in the Goat's Milk line. I like the cleanser. I didn't like the face cream. I put that on my elbows as well. I just got a text from Adam, speak of the devil, and it was a link. And I thought the link was going to take me to, I don't know, a product on Amazon. It's apparently a photo of Penny back when she was a puppy. I mean, it's insane how much those two love each other. Mommy will never compete when it comes to daddy in her mind. It's not even necessarily one of the cutest photos of her. It was just like something that popped up and he's like, oh my gosh, she's adorable. Obsessed. My husband is obsessed with our dog. I don't know if this broke me out, but when I used it, I got immediate breakouts. And it wasn't when I was using any of these other things. So I don't know, but I want this to work, but I don't know if it's going to. So if you've tried this product, let me know if it's broken you out or not, because I want to try it again, but I'm in the middle of other breakouts from other stuff. This is the Ren Clean Skincare Ever Calm Redness Relief Serum. It's for sensitive skin. But why did I break out? I don't know. And you know, I think I do get some redness. It's not like extreme rosacea or anything. I don't know. Maybe I was just going through a stressful time. My skin does tend to just react when I'm being stressed out. So maybe I'll try this again. But so far, I've not wanted to touch this again after my initial reviews of this because it broke me out. So tell me, I'm trying to decide the smell. The smell is a little musty-ish. I want you to use this twice a day, AM and PM. I would be concerned. It definitely thins out once you get it on there, but there is still some tact afterwards. I don't know. Tell me if this broke you out or not, because I want to use this more, but I don't know. I don't have a ton of redness, so it's not like a game changer for me. Tell me your thoughts, because right now I'm still on that not really vibing with it at this moment. I have to tell you about another hair product really quickly because it's sitting here on my desk and I'm afraid I'm going to miss it. This actually has two heads to it. This is the smaller barrel head, but there's also a larger one as well. I got this off of Amazon. I purchased this myself because, oh, I should tell you what led to this. There was an epic fail in my bathroom the other night that I was like, is that smoke? Do I smell smoke coming from this hair product? Let me go get it really quickly. Ugh. Maybe about a year ago, this company reached out to me and wanted to send me their Dyson dupe. I was communicating with this brand for a while. I believe it was called Hair Nova at the time, and they wanted to send this to me. They had their own specific name for it. I think it was just called the Hair Nova. But once I received it, I realized this very much looks like a Dyson. So when I did my review on it, I did call it a Dyson dupe, and how well did it work? It was brand new at the time, and there's definitely a learning curve when you're using a new hair product, especially one that has 5 different accessories to it. So it essentially had all of the original Dyson accessories to it. Super excited to use this, to try it. Now, a big issue about living tiny is that you don't have a lot of storage, you don't have a lot of room for things. This has 5 head attachments. Here's the 5th one for you. But also it gets really hot in a tiny house, and when you have a lot of hair like I do, blow drying it is not the funnest thing to do. But when I reviewed this, I was really excited because I thought it did a pretty good job since I was still learning how to use it, and I definitely was seeing some volume, and I enjoyed it, and I really liked how I could curl my hair with this, all of the things. Well, then I didn't really touch it for a while because, again, tiny house living, you don't have a lot of room. It gets really, really hot. And I don't remember this product heating up a lot to me remembering it, but I could see how when you use a product, it would heat up a little, maybe. Fast forward to moving here, I rediscover some amazing hair tools that I'm like, sweet, I can actually like really style my hair if I want to. And this was a piece that I was loving to use, and then it had one good night of really giving me some great volume to my hair, looking beautiful, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to pull this out more now. I can have some straight voluminous hair days, and that's definitely kind of a trend, right? Well, I tried using this again another night, and I noticed it had less power and it made more noise and it was grinding, and I was like, this is sometimes kind of like the you get what you pay for thing. It is not an actual Dyson, so maybe it's gonna have some hiccups along the road. Either the third or the fourth time by the time I tried to use this, I smelled smoke, and I was like, what is going on with this thing? And essentially, I think this has finally died. I also became scared to use it. I just need to figure out an investment, but $600 for a blow dryer feels so excessive. But I could definitely see how with the proper tool, the way I got it to look that one time when I used this, I was in love. I thought it did a great job. I couldn't wait to use it more. But essentially, I have all of these bits and pieces, and the brand, also as a side note, kind of just disappeared. I still am featured, I think, on their Instagram because I did a review on it and I liked it at the time, which if it still worked, I would too. But they just kind of disappeared. Their website got pulled not long after. And some of you guys had reached out to me saying, hey, I'm interested in this. And I went to their website, but that's not an active website. Are you sure it's the right link? So I think it wasn't too much longer after. So I don't know if Dyson found out about them, kind of copying their exact model and their colors, all of the things, but it just isn't as good. So that happened. There's smoke in the bathroom. That happened. Definitely unplugged it, immediately let it cool, but it kept heating up. It kept, like, even when before that happened, the unit was feeling hot. It was grinding more. It had less power, so it was not done well. But I really fell in love with the hairbrush portion, so I was looking on Amazon for reviews to see what would actually work for my hair type, because I do have thick hair, curly hair. So this is called the Beautimeter. It has two different heads to it that do interchange really easily. Pardon the hair. The settings are off, cool, low, and high. And this button right here makes the head turn one way or the other. This way, that way. So you can brush through it and blow dry and curl your hair at the same time. It had amazing reviews from people that knew how to use it, and they were like, some people that are giving it bad reviews just don't know how to use this. So I have now spent probably a good couple of months on and off trying to use this with different heads, different styles, and I've actually found I like it. One of the times I don't think I gave it enough time because I felt like my curls kind of dropped pretty quickly and the body of the hair kind of dropped quickly, but then other times when I've taken a little bit more time or had a little bit more of a technique with it, it's done a great job. So this is something that I have been trying, and I think it has done pretty well. You just need to know how to use it, teach yourself how to use it really. But this is something that if you want to kind of like blow dry and brush your hair and kind of do a quick style with it, you could. Or if it's something you want to really give you some volume and some body, this is great for that as well. I had on two different mascaras today because I needed to remind myself what they were each like, but I've been trying some mascaras from the drugstore and that are high-end because I wanted to see how I felt about them, but I'm not so sure. Some of them are going to be worth the money. I definitely am already seeing some fallout, but I've experienced fallout with both of these mascaras by the end of the day. Honestly, the first one I'm going to talk about is Hourglass. This is the Hourglass Caution Mascara. This is just their smaller sample size because I was curious if it would be worth the dollars. This is supposed to be an extreme lash mascara. I don't find that my lashes curl very well with this particular one. And yes, I have an eyelash curler that I do use every time I do my mascara. This guy right here, it's this kind of wand, which I do enjoy, but even when I curl my lashes, I find that this kind of makes them a little bit thicker and it flattens them out a bit, unfortunately, which isn't the style I personally prefer. But if you're just looking for some volume and maybe a little bit more thickness, this could be your jam. This just isn't my particular cup of tea, honestly. I do like how it makes my lower lashes a bit wispier. I do like that, but I just found with my top lashes, it just kind of makes them drop. It kind of makes them flat. You can see that there's a decent amount of lash there, but I like a curl. I personally like a curl. The other one that I have been trying that is drugstore is the number 7 lash extender. I got this at Target the other day because I realized all my mascaras were pretty old. I liked the claims that the marketing had for this. Don't we like all of the marketing claims for mascara though? I also liked the wand. I thought this was pretty good. The main thing I'm noticing, even though I do believe you need to give some mascara time to thicken up, oxidize, live its life a little bit, I think that it does a decent job of maybe holding a bit more curl, better than the Hourglass that I've been trying, but there is fallout. By the end of the day, I've definitely got fallout on my face, which I'm not a huge fan of. And I don't feel like this gives a lot of like vavoom for the lashes for some reason. I've still not found anything as good as my Essence $4.99 mascara drugstore that gives a full lash. They've got a different style, so if you want some more curve, you can have more curve. If you want more volume, you can get more volume. I've not found anything better than that. Some people do have some fallout on the face at the end of the day. I don't experience that every time, but I have with the number 7. The number 7 line could be a good drugstore option. There's plenty of things from number 7 in general that I have loved. Their powders, their bronzers, things like that. All right, because I was so in love with my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Cashew Powder that I have a backup of, I use this up all the time, I wanted to try another color because tends to be a bit more of a tan tone and it doesn't work so well for all over the face maybe, especially in the winter months. So earlier this year, I think over the summer, I found that they had some smaller versions of their Pro Filter line. So I got the banana because I thought that would be good for the under eye. I do have this on today under the eyes and I think it did pretty good because I knew what to expect. Oh, I've got more mascara fallout over here. But I will say, when I try to build it up the way I have my regular powder over here, the one in the cashew shade, it becomes a little too yellow for my skin tone. So I kind of wish I would have gotten something that was maybe a little just paler than the cashew. So what is a color that you guys have loved for the powder? I feel like a mini is a perfect size because you get so much product. This is such a finely milled powder that really becomes one with your skin, smooths everything out, that I feel like it is just that next level of powder and worth the money. And these minis are great to figure out not only the color you want, you get a ton of product, so much product. So this is something that I do wish I would have got a different color, but there's, you know, I'm going to get another one in a mini to color match it a bit better, but you get so much product. It's going to take me forever to go through this. It's going to take me, I also love the little puff in here, so cute, and I actually do use the puff. You have so much product in this baby. I've also been using this kind of sparingly because I've noticed that the yellow looks really yellow under the eyes. So I need another color. Still love the formula, still think the product is amazing. All right, let's talk about lips because I had something else on earlier and then I put on something else and I'm not regretting it, but not loving it. The one I'm not loving as much right now because I feel like it's pulling the moisture of my lips that were well moistened before this is the Mellow Lip Gloss. This is something that I had purchased because I really like the Mellow line and I've loved some of their other products like brow products, things like that. This is in the shade Saint-Tropez and I love the color. It's a pretty gloss with a lot of opaqueness to it. Like, look at that. So pretty. But I'm like, why am I not putting this in my rotation more? Why am I not reaching for this? And it's because it really pulls that out. And for a gloss, you're like, wait, this is not a liquid lipstick. Why are you pulling moisturizer out? I'm just going to tell you what I used this morning to compare it to because this is just a gloss with some tint to it. But this is the Item Lip Quip in the shade Come Through. I really was discounting in my head like the Item Beauty because I felt it's like an Addison Rae, I believe, brand who's a TikToker. Not that I have anything against other creators doing their thing, but sometimes when it feels like somebody's just slapped their name on a product, I don't know that, for example, if that's true, but I was kind of just thinking it wasn't going to be as quality as it is. But this doe foot, this creaminess, this morning I didn't put anything else on my lips, not even liner. I just put this on. I had a full smoothie when I went to go to my meeting this morning and it still stayed on. How does something that's like a gloss with so much hydration stay on your lips? I don't know, but I love the look of it. I love the shine it gives. This is now going over the top of two lip liners, that Mellow lip gloss here in this darker shade. And now I'm putting it over the top and it is just making everything flexible again, giving some hydration, but still complementing what was underneath. This is like one of my new favorites, I think. I'm a little sad that I still have it here in my beauty space and not in my purse, taking it with me places. And it doesn't have a ton of color, so just enough. And I feel like a natural lip right now is so what we're all doing, unless we're doing more of a berry lip, a little bit more of a festive lip, you know? I really like this. I'm pretty shocked that it has lasted hours. And it feels like it's more of like a lip balm almost, but with some color, but it juices up the lips. It gives them enough complexity that there is like, did she got fuller lips today? No, it's just this. I really want to like this, but I think I need to give this some more tries this winter. This is the Ole Henriksen, which is a pricey, amazing brand. Sea Rush Brightening Gel Cream. If I can't really get this to work for my skin, I'm going to transition it to feet, elbows, things like that, because I'm going to use this up. But I don't know if it's the thickness of the product, if there's a smell added to it, but I had breakouts again. Again, though, it's a stressful season. I didn't use a ton of this, but my skin did not react well when I tried this. And it is more of a thicker formula, so when you spread it into your skin, it's not like it's becoming watery. It's definitely still having like a coating on your skin. There's still a thickness, a consistency to it. And my face did not care for the after feelings of it. It definitely was kind of like grimy. So if this doesn't end up working for the face, I'm definitely transitioning it to the rest of the body because I love a vitamin C usually, really do. So I did try the Give Them Lala Lip Nourishing Lip Mask. I don't know, lip masks? I've yet to find a lip mask I like. Maybe I'm just weird, maybe I don't like lip masks, but I have tried this a couple times and I don't find that it helps my lips. I find it dries me out more. I don't hate the scent, but I've not been called to use it. Again, this doesn't seem like something that maybe just works in my routine. I don't know. Coconut Kisses Nourishing Lip Balm. I didn't find it to nourish, personally. I did put on today the Beauty for Real lip liner. I have gotten a decent amount of lip liners lately, so it's been one of those things where I'm like, okay, do I need a lip liner? And if I do I want natural or am I going full on bold? But I do have this on today with all of the other things that I had going. And I was really pleased that it did not bleed. I was really pleased it did not take over. It kind of layered well on another brown tone that I had to kind of give it a little bit of depth to it. So I liked that I could do the perimeter of the lips to kind of give that more full pout for that holiday season, and then filled it in a little bit on the edges to kind of give a little bit more of an ombre effect. And I've liked how it stayed and lasted. And look at this, like, look at this. She's pretty pigmented, she stays, there's definitely some deep consistency there. I'm not mad about it, I just don't know how often I would go to this color, but I like that it's not like a cherry red and it's a little bit more like a burgundy, so I could complement it with more fall and festive lips. So I was pretty pleased with that, and it wasn't uncomfortable to apply either. This is called Neutral Deep, and this is their Define Lip Liner from Beauty for Real, and I do believe I got this from a Boxycharm pretty recently. This color is a pretty good representation in this swatch, because sometimes they're not the same, but this one is. One last throwback to tell you about, and it's a product that I've rediscovered recently and now I'm using consistently, feel like she deserves honorable mention. This is the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks Convertible Brow. This one is in the shade 02. I have rediscovered my love for this ever since my Halloween special. It's in my brows today. It's something that's super easy to use, blends really well with other pencils and fiber things that I've been using in my brows, and it works really well. Kind of deepens it up, lasts, doesn't smudge, doesn't move all over the face. I really like this, and I love that I've rediscovered things in my collection too, so I can kind of just like use things up. And I've continued to try the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. Now, if you may remember, I got this in a Boxycharm, but this is the palette that if you are a Natasha Denona lover and you sought this palette out ahead of time, some people have said this is just not the same as her OG formula. It's not the best formula from her bigger palettes. So what I've discovered with this is that I like the color story for fall. I have it a little bit in my crease under the eyes today, and I'll reach for it for certain colors, but I've definitely not made this like an entire look palette. I've definitely also used this sparingly here and there. It's not something I'm finding I'm reaching for a ton. Now, as it is now the winter season, maybe I will want some more of these warm brown tones, some of the rich blue tones. I do have on this stunning shade right here on my lid today, and I think it's nice that it's kind of natural, but also gives some flecks of color, and it really makes the look pop. This is the shade Yama. But I don't think this is something that's maybe revolutionary. It's not something that maybe if you're not getting it in a subscription box or you find it on a sale, that it would be maybe worth your hype and your dollars. Maybe, unless this really speaks to you. If you have a full collection of Natasha, you may know what I'm talking about, that I feel like I do need to do a lot of layering, a lot of blending. I kind of need to go back and forth with this, but she's still really good, and I do still like her. If this story speaks to you, maybe you find her on a deal. That sounds great. Whew, that was a lot of products to go through with you guys, and I'm sure I'm going to have more in the upcoming videos because, you guys, I'm rediscovering things in my beauty space now that I can see them all and use them, try them in different seasons. So let me know what you are loving right now, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you happen to be new to my channel, hi new friends, I really hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on the upcoming videos I have coming, and I am still thinking I have a Boxycharm coming, but we will see. Fingers crossed, we will see. Bye, friends.